all of our suffering and pain is granted by God. Now, I know that statement sounds odd, but stay on track with me as I jog down memory lane because my finished line will remind you of Job. Job. You know the guy in the Bible whose problems come to him like clothes, no fashion. But even if he was fasting or fast in 100-yard dash and he still couldn't outrun or hurdle those problems that let him throw like a javelin. See, he thought he was in a relay race to prove he was still holy. And we don't have to discuss how the enemy's shots put him in a place for the lowly. Even his homie said, homie. Clearly your suffering and pain is a result of your sin, and that's no lie. Even his honey said, honey. I don't understand why you don't just curse God and die. So again, I say, I believe that God grants permission. I believe God grants permission for these Christians to receive our suffering and pain. Now I know you think I'm insane or deranged to even make such a claim that I could picture it in my membrane to hang and frame the blame on the God who reigns. But give me the reins to bridle your brain, because nay, I would never horse around with such a claim. I would never say that God is evil. Only a devil would dare to stunt with a statement like that. Knievel. See, I've learned that there's available beauty in every calamity. And that applies to all the hurt and pain, even the deaths in our families, a confusing tragedy that the pain that Christ attained produced gain for these debtors. So isn't it a travesty that we view all of our pain as if we're being chained with fetters like handcuffs? No dandruff, but we scratch our heads wondering when our test will end. But please comprehend, some tests are meant to go away simply because you passed it, my friends. Listen. What I'm about to say is simple, so please don't perplex this. But sometimes we have God completely backwards, dog. We're so dyslexic. Teachers test these minds with tests and quizzes to prove that we become better. But God is a teacher that gives us tests to make us better. Derek Jeter. Jeter couldn't hit you harder than this hard knock life that'll make you want to run home. Because as soon as you're having a ball, life will strike you out and leave you no base to roam, so see your problems be Dodgers. But we soon see that Satan isn't from New York, but he yanked keys of joy from these Cubs. Luckily, our Papa Bears with us, so no, Atlanta, be Braves. Go ahead. Goliath or slingshots, but luckily his blood covers our souls. So these Red Sox help us knock those giant problems out of the game, but life is not a baseball game.
All right.
So being a big boss doesn't automatically send you to another level like, homie, what a shame. If you get to realize that sometimes God allows problems to prepare you for later devils. So don't let your current problems hospitalize you like a patient. No, let them produce in you patience. Migration from anything that opposes what I'm about to say is Nathan. See, Satan can only attack us for one of two reasons. One is that if you're not sold out to God, then your soul's out to be robbed by Satan's legions. Apart from that, Satan can only attack us for some season. We some salt of the world, like we from the sea, son. And sand must go through a harsh process before it can become the mineral we know of as salt. It must be crushed, grinded, and iodized. So you see, son, why it pleased the Father to crush Christ when he was crucified. Stretched wide, lifted high with his head to the sky. Despite his suffering and pain, that was the same reason he became glorified. See, when he rose, he became greater than all your heroes. I know you may be bawling from life's bull, but I say break a leg, and I'm not talking D-Rose, but even he made a comeback. And understand, Christ's comeback started with him being set up and set back. So before you complain about your suffering and pain, maybe first you should shut up and sit back and say, God, are you allowing this pain to grow me? Are you allowing this pain to show me that there are some things I need to change in my life before they cause me to grow weak? Despite that, the Bible says we're most like Christ and we rejoice in our growing pains. You don't like that God uses pain to grow you? You should. Because the Bible says the enemy means for bad. God means for good.
Woo. Go ahead. All right.